I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and my father's King Edward VIII, who was taken down illegally with character assassination, lies. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. He never married Wallace Simpson or had anything to do with her. My father would not go along with the Illuminati. And obviously, some members of the family, his own family, which are my family. Well, some of them are good. I know that there's still some of them trying to help me. And I wonder if this is going off. No, it's going. Anyway, I want to get to this. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given another name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I still have to use the name. Now then, I'm putting this up, and I hope I'm not covering up a sound or something here. I don't think so. Oh, I was writing about mind control and its use as a weapon to murder. And back when I was, to give you some background real quick, 76, and I got a letter in 1979, my father's birthday, by the way. Ongoing investigation, national security involved. In fact, I got 2 letters. Anyway, I was almost killed, April Fool Day of 80, and I'm going to leave that out. I've put so much up. In finding out who my father is and my real name and what was done to him and my mom, I found it out after I was in a political campaign. I ran for U.S. Congress to replace one of the doctors I wrote about. Larry McDonald was a urologist at Piedmont Hospital. And I hope I can get back to this other doctor, one of them that was there, okay, if I can remember and take it back there. Anyway, they become a part of all this. And anyway, in the special election, I was flown out to Mr. Flint's twice. He had been shot by a program shooter, and his attorney killed, and the judge was pretty much done in by shots. But the guy was programmed, so he's a victim actually himself. Like the Fort Hood shooter, that was a psychiatrist that was born here in Roanoke, by the way, Salem, Benton, it's all one county. He went to school here, he was born here, he went to Virginia Tech and went on to medical school, and at Fort Hood, he was programmed to shoot people. Come on. Anybody knows that this becomes a pattern in itself. He's in prison now. Whether he's on death row, I don't know. He was found guilty, I believe. You can Google it. I know he was. So, what was his name? I don't remember his name now, but you can Google him, the doctor at Fort Hood that did the shootings. So, this is just an example there. I wanted to get to President Trump being uninvited or not invited to the funeral of John McCain. First of all, it was an insult. Well, maybe not, to President Trump. I hope he's not a part of the global government, the Illuminati, which, by the way, whether you like it or not, the very people that are so into the Bible would try to say, oh, well, suddenly, oh, well, that's not true. Yeah, it is. What I was writing about in the book was chipping people, putting chips in root canal, heart bypasses, etc. You do it with signals, the Morse code, or you did back then. It's become so widespread, the technology, that people can zap you here and there. You think this is a joke. They can give you a heart attack, control your decision making, make you appear to commit suicide, like Mark from Mark. Oh, me. I'm going to go blank. And no, this has nothing to this nice person left all these nice comments with senility. It has to do with my being exhausted and tired, so tired, and having every crime in the book committed against me and my children, okay, if I forget something. So, where was I? Oh, I don't know. I'll go back and try to pick it up. Anyway, let's see this beautiful lady. woo, that I just put up that left all these great remarks. I just had to, I know it's just feeding into her nasty, has no compassion or anything, and obviously her intelligence went zap, because anybody that thinks I could make all this up, well, I would get it published if I then, and I'd be wealthy, and I wouldn't need to be a pauper and trying to find my children and all that. So where am I going here? Not funny. This is how I get through it, okay? I was talking about John McCain and them uninviting Trump. I hope Trump is not part of the Illuminati. And I wish I had something to hold this up right. Shows my teeth and my nose and how old I am, correct, and tired. I hope Trump's not part of the Illuminati. I don't see how he's not. But he got elected, and I know his uncle, John George Trump, was involved supposedly with the taking of the Tesla files, which is what I was using way back in '76 in the mind control murders. Only I had links that linked patterns. You could prove some of them. It's invisible, so it's hard to prove. Anyway, his uncle went to MIT, and it gets into, you start researching, and it's what Tesla had, the files, and everybody should really look and see. It involves the Philadelphia experiment, etc. Now I'm getting away. I wanted to say, I hope, and then the FBI had the Tesla files. So I hope Trump's not a part of the Illuminati, the Freemasons. He's taken a lot of heat. I mean, the man, I don't care how strong you are, it must finally get to you that people are buying this. I'm going to bleep myself. You know what I mean. That the press is feeding you. In the end, if it's ever told about my father, Edward VIII, total lies. The Illuminati, the Freemason took him down, which is, let me get back to this, all your presidents were, but especially those sitting there at the McCain funeral, which expanded 5 days or so. They've still got the flag at half staff right here in front of me where I'm living. You've got Obama, who spent the night in Windsor Castle a couple of years ago with Elizabeth, his wife. Mrs. Obama was there. He gave little George, they're all illegal. They're part of the Illuminati. I just put up that. If you don't want to take my word for it, look at what just came up, and that is true. She represents the Illuminati. They kidnapped me and took my dad down because he wouldn't go along with them. So look what they did to him. She's living high on the hog. Excuse the word hog if you go back and what I've put up and see where that goes. So anyway, Obama spent a couple of nights there in Windsor Castle. Well, everybody can, Ronald Reagan, all of them can spend nights in Buckingham Palace with Elizabeth because they're bosom buddies. Now, he gave a rocky horse, and there's a point to this that I put up to little George. Now that Obama's at the funeral, you've got Hillary Clinton's husband, Bill. I laugh because I want to blank it out. I've put this up before. Maybe it's not going to put me in danger. I've been in danger, obviously, all my life. Things that, I'm just going to put this man up, and he became their drug czar. And that's Lee Brown. And the reason I mentioned him was when I was doing the book and almost killed, Lee Brown in '80. Lee Brown was police commissioner, black police commissioner in Atlanta when a bunch of killings were done of black children. By the way, after they arrested and tried Wayne Williams, they continued. They only tried him on 2. There's a book called The List. If you can still get it, I don't know. But it was written by Chet Detlinger, a former FBI agent. They tried to say he did it, and another man, they co-authored it. Anyway, Mary Welcome, I was almost killed April Fool Day across the state line to Alabama. Lina Dempsey, mother of the twins, and John Sparkman, the old congressman, Senator Sparkman, excuse me. I want to give him his title. She was with him when he died, by the way. Wow. Anyway, Mary Welcome was going to, the attorney for Wayne, was going to send, I was afraid she wouldn't believe me, and she said, she was put right on the phone to me. By the way, she worked for the attorney, and it shows this building in Atlanta on Matlock. Matlock really was from this attorney that she worked for. I can't think of his name. He handled the Michael Thieves trial and all that. Anyway, she was going to send someone, an attorney, her attorney, over to get a deposition. Well, they almost killed me about that times again. So, it never happened. So now, I'm telling about this, and how am I going to connect it back to, okay, Lee Brown. He was police commissioner. He and, oh God, who did they rename Atlanta Airport out? It was Hartsfield. Okay, what was his name? Jackson Hartsfield. Okay, Mayor Jackson. He was the mayor, black mayor. He and Lee Brown went before ABC back then, just prior to Wayne being arrested, and he was found guilty, and the carpet becomes a big issue, but you don't get all of that. Where the carpet fibers were sent and a lab report was sent is all out of text, okay? And it would, if you heard it all, you would connect it, people would. Whether they want to or not, they couldn't deny it. Anyway, so I don't lose my thought. Lee Brown, police commissioner, later drug czar with Clinton administration. He was went on to become mayor a couple of times of Houston, and police commissioner there for a couple, 3 times. So this is back in 80 or 81, and they'd already done me, and I'm across the state line. So anyway, he's arrested, and he's in state prison now, Wayne Williams is, and that was a mind control, the patterns used in it. Well, you know, who's listening to any of this? They just wish I'd shut up, and I've been called names, and there's some nice people, really nice along the way, but there's some nasty nasties, believe me. Anyway, the CIA took over from Mary Welcome. She never got to send the person to interview me, and I don't know, when they tried to kill me, the man that came in, the black man, Henry Mims, I don't know if they knew each other, but I always wondered. He was nice. So anyway, here's what Maynard Jackson, and the police commissioner, he was mayor, and the police commissioner was Lee Brown, went on ABC back then, just maybe a month or 2 before Wayne was arrested for the murder and tried, just for 2, and they continued to go on. But hey, you don't want to hear me, so I'm talking to the wind here, probably to an empty. Let me see if it, no, I'm not going to see if it's going up, because I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to, okay, they went on ABC, Morning America, I think it was called back then. It may still be. I don't watch it. But anyway, they both went on there and said Wayne wasn't guilty. It's the mechanism used. Well, they didn't tell you what mechanism. They're talking about mind control. Now then, here's the thing. When they caught Wayne, this was prior, they caught Wayne supposedly dumping a body into the river right there. I know, I mean, I lived out there. This is where I lived for years. He had a letter in his pocket. He was going to Overbrook Apartments in Smyrna, looking for Margaret. Now, that's my real name, and Overbrook is where my husband and I and children moved back to Atlanta when he worked for Lockheed Marietta. We moved there about 1967, 68. But anyway, that's my real name. Now, here's the point. They've changed that. If you go back and try to Google, they have changed so many things, and that's one of them. They changed it from the letter and the name on it being Margaret to something else. Now, I guess I'm through here on this anyway, because this is background on Lee Brown, who was czar, and I hope he's the good guy, but I'm putting it in. Drug czar in the Clinton and the water, what was it? Whitewater. Then it led to murders, not just Vince Foster, who was on the White House Council, who was supposed to have committed suicide and dumped out in the your state parks, your U.S. Park Service, National Park Service is involved of the land, etc., around the White House. But all you have to do is Google. There is I had back then about the deaths and all this, and there's so many I didn't know about. But quite frankly, you can Google it. And I bet I'd turn around. This is gone. I don't have any space. That's just a bit about the Clintons. They're high up in the Illuminati. Obama and Bush family. Well, their father, George Bush, was head of the CIA. And remember, I've put up about Keeper of the Secrets was head of the CIA. And, okay, here they're at the funeral, and they've banned Trump from the funeral. And the press is really just eating him up. They're going after him hook, line, and sinker. The only way you stop this crap is you tell the truth about me, about my father. Excuse me, I know you're going to get mad, because I'm the one that you like to get mad at. And excuse me, the few good people, okay? You got Meghan McCain up there crying over her father, and I would have said nothing about this. Only they're talking about how painful it is for her, and she would have spoken out if anybody said anything about her father. Are you following me? My father was done in, my mom, my country. What was done to me, his daughter. And I'm labeled as senile, crazy by some people who don't give a rat's. And then there's the few good people that come along. Obviously something's wrong with your press, the Illuminati press that kidnapped me and took down my dad because he was the good guy. Because they've never mentioned me except when I ran in the campaign and was flown to Larry Flint's, so they kind of had to say something.